second window, and it went to
Yeah,
Bourbon in Hong Kong.
my stream the stream died, so I gotta reconnect here. Hey, it only took what? Us doing this how many times? All right, we're back. It might be a different link though.
Did you break YouTube again, Josh?
Dude, I have no idea what happened there. That was the weirdest thing. It just like I just sitting here and you were talking, and then all of a sudden you froze, and I was like, "What?" And then you started talking again. I was like, "Oh," and then I realized that like all my shit just stopped. But then, unfortunately, the stream never reconnected, so I had to restart it.
Well, I only see one stream, Josh, so I think we're good.
Well, one viewer has rejoined, so
That was literally me.
nice. Welcome, Caleb.
And the second one was me, so
Yeah, I just probably wanted to repost the link. All that work I did to schedule it so that way we have the link ahead of time and all that out the window. Anyways, yeah, I guess we could have seen the shipper from Fairmont Park coming, huh?
Yeah, I mean, that one would have been a little easy to toss. I mean, I'm not that torn up. That 2 horse is just very hard for me to get to. I mean, especially at the price. I think he was like 4 or 5 to 1. I mean, I'd need 20 to 1 to bet that horse.
I had some of that horse. I mean, I don't think I got any value out of it, though. So, meh. So, Josh, what was your selection there? What are you drinking?
So I ended up going to start. I have a single barrel Knob Creek, the store pick. You can probably see there. It's a 11-year aged one, 120 proof. It's fucking good. I've really liked a lot of these store picks. I've had I think 2 different ones, and both of them have been really good. So and real affordable. I think this is like $40. And Dennis told me I shouldn't be downloading porn while streaming.
Dennis is right.
It's probably why we went down.
It's that LimeWire. What are you drinking, Mark?
I picked myself up a little bit of Little Book. This is Little Book Volume 2. So a little bit of a splurge, and it is pretty tasty. I don't know if it's worth the splurge price, but it is pretty solid.
I had a dear friend was kind enough to send me Taylor small batch. So Mark was a good man and saw that they had it in stock up in the Northeast and was kind enough to send the bottle down my direction. And it has been a long time since I've had it, and it is actually better than I remember. So if you live in a place where it's available, I would highly recommend stocking up.
Yeah, quite honestly, personally, after having some of that, dollar or quality per dollar, I think that is probably the best bourbon you can get. That E.H. Taylor is just phenomenal for considering the price, which is not that expensive, quite honestly. At least to my palate, which is amazingly unsophisticated. So,
I mean, I'm not some bourbon snob either. Just I like what tastes delicious. I think this is good.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like what tastes delicious, and to me that tastes pretty damn delicious.
Right. Oh. Dennis had some wild turkey last night. Said he got a little bit crazy.
Dude,
like
whoa,
with that,
hold
Dennis.
on. Let's roll this back, Dennis. When are you not crazy? Dude, I don't even want to know what Dennis on wild turkey's gotta be like.
Sounds like there's a story there, man. I mean, you can't just say that and then not follow. Well, looks like we're getting a square price on this 11 horse that I'm sure we all in this race. So
just a heads up, I am down half my bankroll already after that first race, so it was not that was a real big swing and a miss. I was feeling real good about that 4. So
Yeah, Josh, if you contribute against the bourbon fund, we can eventually get this to some like solid quality bourbon. We need Chase in here.
yeah,
now,
dude, we're
though.
gonna be up to fucking.
We need
We're
Chase.
gonna
It's
be up
not
to Japanese pretty soon.
the fund won't grow as quick without Chase.
So, what are your feelings on this 12 in here, Caleb? I know we talked about the 11.
I would love to discuss this 12. 11 is my top play in this race. But the 12 is a horse that I initially had marked off as like a B. And then I went back and I looked at him again and I'm like, you know what? Like this horse might need to be an A just based off of the price. I mean, you're 20 to 1 in the morning line, and it looks like you're going to get every bit of that come post time. I mean, the horse ran a speed figure that's not outstanding in his last race, but it's, competitive within a couple of points of what most of these run. I mean, he has an outside draw, he has tactical, pressing speed, and, the horse likes to win. I mean, he's 1-for-1 at Turfway. He's got to win over the distance. I mean, 2-for-4 on the turf. So the horse seems to like the distance. I mean, the trainer's having a good meet at 22%. He hasn't been too great in stakes races. And this is certainly a class test for the 12, but I think this 12 makes a lot of sense. And I haven't exactly decided how or what wagers I'm going to play yet, but that's definitely a horse that I think you absolutely have to use underneath at that price. And I could even see a strong case for using him, in doubles or pick threes or anything else, or a win bet at that price for that matter.
Yeah, I was thinking the same exact thing, and I expected him to take a lot of money, judging on what's sort of been working tonight, and I mean you do see Turfway horses, whereas the day goes along, people kind of get accustomed to the bios, get accustomed to what's working, and you definitely see that money coming more towards horses like this 12, which are kind of a run style that fits. And again, I really like the horse. Again, a horse is 4-for-12 lifetime, 1-for-1 at Turfway. Good connection percentages all around. It seems to be. And yeah, it seems pretty interesting at a bit of a price. And I know you'd like the 11. I figured if you like the 11, you sort of have to like the 12 for the same reasons.
Yeah, exactly. I think I thought the 3 was arguably the horse to beat, but it's a horse that I'm not really interested in betting at 2-1 or whatever he ends up going off at. But he does look the best, with strong connections. He has speed. The cutback, I'm a little unsure about. It's an 8-year-old horse that's been a router for his entire career, now trying to sort of cut back. I mean, there's been a couple times when he's sprinted here and there. I mean, he competed in this race last year and was 4th in a blanket finish, but I'm just not sure. It just seems like he's been better going 2 turns. I'm not sure that I want to take a super short price on him at the sprint distance, which is the exact reason I actually threw out the 7 completely. Nonetheless, that's a horse I thought would take money based off the speed figures and back class, but that's a horse that I just really think wants 2 turns, and also a horse that needs a little bit of help up front with the pace. And I think this is going to be too sharp for that horse. Going a mile, I'd be all over the 7, but in this spot, I'm going to probably let that one beat me. And it looks like the public's seeing a lot of what I am, considering this horse is floated up to about 6-1 right now.
Yeah, sorry, I was too busy retweeting out our new link. So I didn't catch if you guys were talking about this horse already, but there is a horse that we didn't. I didn't. After looking at this a little bit closer, and after seeing the last race, I'm really interested in using here, and that's going to be the 1 Unmoored. Do you guys talk about the 1 here at all?
No, go ahead.
No. If we're looking at the Briz figures, and we're looking at the Briz run style here, we got a lone E on a sprint with 2 more speed points than the next horse. So that usually screams lone speed to me. Now I know technically probably the 3 is probably a faster horse, so more than likely the 3 is probably going to grab the lead here. But I don't know. This one, uh, if this was a different track and this wasn't a stakes race, um, didn't have we didn't have like the 3 here who has some decent back class, winning the Hanshin and um, came in second in that a stakes race here at Turfway. The 1 would definitely be a horse pace wise that I would use. And I think at 16-1, I think you're getting the price at using it, especially with the way that the track has been playing towards speed. If the 1 gets the lead, it could be a little pretty dangerous here if it's still going to play straight speed.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. The 1's a horse I had, and after the 11 and the 3, and then debatably the 12, there was probably 4 horses I just wasn't sure what to do with that I could use, that I could love, or that I could toss, and the 1 kind of fell into that bucket. I agree with you. I mean, I have him marked as potential lone speed. I think he's the only sprint speed that's actually in this field, and he definitely should have a pace edge against this group. I mean, a lot of these speed horses are routers cutting back and just aren't quite as quick. He likes Turfway. He likes the distance. I mean, this horse makes a lot of sense. I got the one thing that I sort of didn't like, well, besides the rail draw, which may not be that big of a deal for him given his early speed, was that the normal jock for Garcia, the Pardron Barcenas, ends up on the 12 horse instead. So that was something I kind of paid attention to. Horses last time elects to ride the 12. That's one of Garcia's kind of go-to riders. So that kind of made me a little bit less certain on the 1. I mean, obviously he doesn't know when he makes that decision. This does appear to be a situation where a front runner might get a little bit loose on the front end. But even last race, he wasn't on the lead, but he was just off against average fractions for that level and kind of faded late. So maybe he just quits running if he isn't in the front. But yeah, I mean, at 16-1, I think he's a great bet, and he's a horse that I could definitely see incorporating at the very least underneath, and it wouldn't surprise me if he gets out there and steals it. But the reason I didn't have him higher was for a few of the reasons that I already kind of covered.
Yeah, I mean, if the horse can get loose, if the horse can break and get loose, that's a really legitimately interesting horse. There's some ifs there for me. And I get what Josh is looking at. On optics, yeah. If you look at the surf disc plot, I can see where that 1 could theoretically get loose. Um, uh, and again, being a sprint, you like those kind of setups. So, yeah, I guess I'm sitting here doing the thing I normally do on this stream, where you guys talk up a horse and I go, "Oh man, I covered to that horse. What was I doing?" So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the thing too is, Nairo Garcia is hitting at 22%. Second after claim, he's 22%. And the jock that he's using instead of his go-to guy, Luis Rivera, is also hitting at 21%. So the connections seem to make sense here. And I think pace-wise, this horse makes sense. So at 16-1, like I'm definitely gonna use, and I'm gonna try and I'll probably do something with just a flat win bet on this 1. Probably a flat win bet on this 11, and then key these 2 in exactas with the 3. I still do think that the 3 is the class of the field probably, and is the most likely winner. But if this 1 or 11 here can make some noise, I mean 1, 3, and 11 all project to be the horses placed through the front. I think another thing that you could do is you could try to build something with caloric, possibly like in third, key him in third with a couple other horses above. I know Chase would love that. Chase is probably doing that as we speak. He's probably building something. He's finding some way to use caloric.
Now he's got win place money on the caloric. He's got that.
Oh, there it is. I knew it. I knew it.
He's also keying in an exacta box with the 4, the 11, and the 12. Or sorry, just straight at exacta box 4, 11, 12. So he, I think, is seeing the same thing we are, and then putting his boy caloric in there. And I kind of.
If he hits that, he's gonna be wooing all over the place. He's gonna be fucking Ric Flairing all over the place.
He'll be feeling a lot better.
Yeah. All of a sudden, he's gonna be like, "Hey guys, all of a sudden, I think I'm alright to come on the stream."
Yeah, this is a great race to play vertically if that's more your speed, because there's a lot of double-digit horses here that I'm not sure they can win, but I think they have a great chance to run second or third. I mean, the 2 is a horse that we haven't really talked about, First Growth, that kind of looks too slow, on the form. But the thing that jumped out at me was that, you get Gerardo Corrales on board, who, like we covered, was hitting 30% at the meet so far. He had a first-time starter that went off at like 20-1 or something yesterday that he just put a great ride on to get home. And the horse is a perfect 2 for 2 at Turfway and 3 for 4 lifetime on the synthetic with speed figures that would be fairly competitive here. Now, I don't know when the last time, it looks like the last time we touched, in a stakes race at Presque Isle, June 18, 2018, excuse me, at a stakes race that, he ran kind of mediocre in. And he's 8 years old. Maybe he's just past his prime, but at 23-1, I mean, that's a horse that, a horse for course angle that you could do worse by throwing, a few dollars on him in the bottom half of a trifecta or something like that.
Yeah, I am going to be, and I just actually put it in. I have the 11 and the 12 over the 8 in a daily double. Trying to get some of the, I guess that's a popo play if there ever was one, outside and outside. But I'd really like the 8 in the next leg. And I was not covered in my pick 3 to the 12. So it's a little bit of a hedge against the 12 here. And that 11, which Caleb and I were both kind of high on earlier. And it seems like the 11 is finally starting to take some money, 12 as well.
So I got a couple bets going. Just 3 actually. I'm not going to push it too hard. I'm playing a big 11-2 double straight up. I'm playing that for $10. I'm also going to play a small $2 double with 11 with the 5-8 in the next race. And then I'm going to play a little pick 3 just with 1, 3, 11, 12 with the 2 7, 10. So all things considered, it's a $20 investment covering 3 separate bets. If I throw something else in at the last minute, I may play an 11 with the 5. I'm sorry, not 11. The 3 with the 2 double. I have to see what that's paying to see if that's worth it.
Yeah, and just because I talked about it before and didn't say an amount, it's a $5 double on me for the 11-12 over the 8.
Yeah, 3 2 doubles are paying 38. I mean, that's not bad. I might throw $2 on it just kind of as a hedge, I'll get my bet back plus a little bit if that comes through, because the 3 is arguably the class of this field, so I might throw that in for $2.
Yeah, agreed. Totally agreed. And by the way, if this 11 wins this race, the next race between the two of us is going to be much worse TV with the two of us calling each other idiots the whole time.
It is. We'll be nervous. I don't want to. Looks like Josh is still thinking.
Yeah, I hate to box horses, but
in an exacta, that's not that bad.
I feel like I got to use this 3 to play anything.
So it looks like Chase is doubling down here. He is playing a 3, 4, 11, 12 over 2 daily double for $1. And then he's got another 4. Okay, so that was what he added. He just added the 3, 4, 11, 12 over 2 daily double. He also has his 4, 11, 12 exacta box and win place on the 4.
I think Mark's the only one with actual action riding from last race in this race today. That's right, Mark. I mean, I'm not alive in anything from race 4. So you have, what is it, 3, 7, 11, 2, 9 A's/B's?
Correct. Okay. Yeah, A's/B's. 3, 7, 11 is A's. 2, 9 is B's.
I I didn't see it on your ticket, and we haven't talked about it. But any thoughts on this South American Invader horse?
I had really debated using that horse, but the problem I have with that horse is sort of why is the horse here? Turf horse and coming in and had been a horse that had a massive case of seconitis, it looks like, recently in any sort of stakes. I don't know the quality of the fields. I tend to like these kind of first time LASIK horses that are shipping in from South America, but it's a horse coming out of Peru. If it was coming out of Chile, I would probably have a little more respect for the horse because the hippodrome horses tend to be a little classier. Um, Obviously, I don't know the field. It's an interesting horse. It's an interesting spot to put the horse, and I mean, it does get Alan Garcia. It's a horse that I would have absolutely no qualms if anything close to the 15-1. I haven't even looked at the board right now. You're getting 9-1 right now. At 9-1, yeah. If you're on the horse, you're getting paid to dabble there a little. But I just there's a lot of what ifs, and there's some actual quality in this field. So I didn't go there. Let's put it that way.
So I ended up playing $3 to win on the 1 and the 11. Then I keyed the 3 with the 1 and 11 back to key box for $2. So that's another $8. And then I boxed the 1 and 11 for $1. So it's kind of like an exacta box, but I'm doubling my my exposure to the 3 here. So if the 3 finishes in first or second with the 1 and 11, I have it for $2. But if it finishes 11-1 or 1,
Yeah, that's reasonable. My dad must be watching the stream because he texted me and said exacta box sucks. So I mean, I'll be happy to see that you've changed your mind about the structure of that.
So
bet.
honestly, and I know we've talked this to death before, but the only reason I'll ever play an exacta box with 3 horses is if I'm literally only playing it for $1. Like, it's not efficient whatsoever, but it's one of those things where it's like I'm playing it for $1 and I don't want to invest more money into this, so I'm not going to Dutch it. I more than often than not though, I try to key one of the horses to save the $2 at least, because it's probably the more efficient play if you're gonna try and get exposure to 3 horses. But then your two non-keyed horses of course finish first, second, and everything. Just got to be more right.
I don't think there's any problem with an exacta box if you're in like a 12 or something horse field. You're in a big field and you're seeing no real favorite, and you're looking at the field and going, okay, there's 4 or 5 horses that are all close in odds. I like 3 of them and I want to use them together. I don't think that's the problem. I think it's the problem people get into is they always play exacta boxes, and it doesn't matter if it's a 5-horse field or a 12-horse field, and they're playing it with the same structure. And then people get themselves into this trap where there's no value there.
In a 36 running of the Forgo Stakes.
Man, we're off.
For King Daddy on
I'm lagging.
Are you? You off, Josh, or is my stream ahead?
No, I was watching.
Do you not see me grasping my bottle of whiskey?
Ah, yes. Well, 3 took some light money, 3-2. Kind of as expected. This South American horse showing some early speed too.
Look, I just need this 8 to kind of wipe out the rest of the field.
I mean, 11's getting a good trip. We didn't talk about this 10 at all. This just feels like the maker horse can knock us all out.
On the move to the outside is Glenwood. 3 wide.
8 is scaring the crap out of me right now.
He looks awful good, but so does the 11 and the 12 for that.
To the outside, it's Hip Hip Parade.
Yeah, here comes our 11.
Someone in the black cap screaming, that's a 7. He's way farther up than I expected.
After the lead, unmoored to the inside second. 3 wide is Glenwood. On hold in
11
between
looking good.
horses is Lanier as a straight lead to the
7
top
looks
of the
like
home
your
stretch.
winner.
Here comes Glenwood. Up and after the lead, but nonetheless got the trip to the outside
Yeah,
and
blew right
sweeping
by.
up and after the lead by the furlong pole. It is nonetheless on the turn back off the shelf by the 6.
Oh, that's a hard one to swallow.
Glenwood.
Oh, we were very right, though.
Second, but nonetheless, well
I mean, 11 was a good bet. I think we were all on board with him.
Wins the Forgo by just about a length. Glenwood
But-
was second, and the running time was
Okay, I pay up pick 3 to 6 and 8 in the next leg.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can see ways to get to that 7. For me, it's just a distance. A good ride by Rodney Prescott to keep him closer to the pace than he normally is.
Yeah, thanks,
11
Rodney.
looked good. 11 looked so good turning for home, but then I saw 7 ranging up outside, and I just knew there was no way. That's too bad to waste.
Probably honestly moved a little early on that 11.
Yeah, you're probably right. He was only beating a length and a half.
Because he hung on. He was game is all game, but he just, I think, probably moved a little too much, and didn't have quite enough late. I think if he'd waited just a tad more, it could have stalked that 7. But, is what it is.
Yeah, I hate to burn it. Love a 10-1 that much and not even thrown back in an exacta upside down just as a saver, because that's probably going to pay
the $71 for $2.
I was going to say $80, 71. Yeah,
for
for
two,
two. Yeah, I mean, that gets me up on the day already just by throwing that in there. And it's not like it was a hard horse to come up with, just not one I liked at the distance. I mean, plus the layoff, is a bad date.
Pick 5 is paying 4 out of 5.
Whew. Yeah, there was quite honestly, I don't with the exception of that first leg that Josh had, I don't think there was anything that was hard to have in there. But it was one you had to go a little bit deep in. And I will say this: if as much as Josh likes to bash his exacta boxes, that last race wouldn't have been a bad one to have an exacta box. We both like to price, and I think then there was the 3 and the 7 we were talking about were the two logicals in that race. You box a 3, 7, 11 exacta box, and you do quite well in that last race.
Yeah, if I'm going to play it that way, I'm going to key the 11 because I'm not in the 3, 7 or $18 or whatever it pays.
Okay, no, that's valid. That's
but
valid.
I understand the point. Yeah.
Just saying that, I think we sometimes, as people who are more experienced handicappers, have this mentality that there are certain bet structures that are good and certain ones that are bad, and it's shades of gray.
Yeah, you're right.
First time we've ever said that, wasn't it?
Might have been.
Well, speaking of, I don't know. I did whip out the next bottle here. This is another store pick here from the store right local to me, and I probably can't see it very well. It's called Binny's. This is New Riff, which is based out of northern Kentucky, Newport, Kentucky, to be exact. They're relatively new. I want to say that this year might be the first year that they actually are using 100% their own distillate and not like sourcing stuff. This is really good. I bought this bottle because it looks cool, and I'd seen some chatter about it on Reddit. So I went and I picked it up. It's a store pick, so it's probably one of the better barrels that they probably have. But $50 for a single barrel proof. This one is bottled at 113. Yeah, I really like it. I know the one cool thing about New Riff is they're small enough still that they can do they'll do quarter barrel picks. So I know I had talked with Polka Dot Taylor about possibly trying to do a barrel pick for the for the Discord. I think we would only need to sell something like bottles. So if we end up going with that, I'll let you guys know. But it's good stuff. I think you had said, Caleb, that you'd seen it on the website, but just the bottle and bond, not the single barrel proof stuff. Are you muted?
Yeah, sorry, I had myself. Yeah, I've only seen bottled and bond. I haven't seen the single barrel yet in Pennsylvania, but it is a newer distillery, so I imagine we'll probably get some bottles over here, hopefully soon, and hopefully it's not going to be the impossible to locate variety. So, because if they're as well regarded as you seem to, think that you really enjoy them, so for a reasonable price, that's not too bad. I'd like to be able to get some once they make their way over to Pennsylvania.
So, just so you guys know, there's going to be a $36,000 carryover tomorrow in early.
And just so you guys also know, we're doing our 3rd annual Discord. I'm pouring bourbon and talking, so be careful.
You probably should say monthly. You should probably just say monthly, not annual.
3rd annual.
Third
Roughly-
one so
roughly
far.
monthly.
Tournament for Discord. It's a $2 win place, hypothetical win place wager tournament. I think there's, 8 races maybe?
Yep, 8 races.
It spans mostly Gulfstream, Aqueduct, and Santa Anita, I think. We have a couple backups in case Aqueduct ends up canceling due to weather. And it's a lot of fun. We've had, I think like 50 people in the first one and over 70, I think, in the second one sign up. So yeah, again, it's cheap. It's only $11 buy-in, so it's a cheap way to get action for the whole day. And they're a lot of fun because you're competing mostly against people in the Discord and not a bunch of strangers and randoms. I mean, I actually won the first time, and then Petulant won the second time and stole my crown. So I'm looking forward to coming back and reclaiming the throne. And I'm sure we'll all have a couple long shots tomorrow that are going to be the same.
So look, I don't know if we've talked about this before, but the first tournament we do, I guess I don't think we realized how many people were going to get to do it. So we ended up doing winner takes all. So of course I fucking finished second by like cents. I don't even remember how much. It was like $1 or something.
Yeah, and your horse got third.
And my horse got
a
third.
neck that would have probably got you ahead of me.
So I think Caleb won like $480. Was it 480 or was it 540? It was something.
It was 500 plus. I forget the exact amount.
Jesus Christ! It pretty much paid for his like 6 bottles of Blanton's or whatever. And so then, of course, we did winner take all that time. So in the second one, we're like, oh, we'll do top 3. Oh, I'm nowhere even fucking close on that one. So like getting DQ'd in the Derby all over again, man.
I need a trigger warning still.
Yeah, I finished up like maybe 8th or 10th in that second one. I had an okay run. There was a couple price cap horses that came in that, if those come in and you don't have them, those are hard to come back from.
Yeah, right now we're sitting at 20 entries right now, and normally with how these tournaments go, everybody last minute entries for them. So the fact that we're at 20 and we're a day out is actually a really good sign. I would imagine probably having that 40 or 50 range. Prize pool sitting right now, first prize is $136, which is not bad for an $11 entry, and you get the cool emote or the cool flair, whatever you want to call it, and all sorts of bragging rights on Discord, which is worth the price of admission.
Yep, $11, free entry max, and we're going to do horse tourneys. And I think if you don't have an account on horse tourneys, I think they're running a deposit bonus. I think right now, forgot what it is, but I think it's like deposit 25, get 25 or something. If you need the link, it's in Discord, or you can message me on YouTube or whatever, and I can get it. Also, apparently, so I haven't looked outside since I got home. I got home a little early because our boss let us out a little early because of the weather. And it hadn't started snowing yet, so I got home, haven't like looked outside, and I can just hear them just like scraping the.
Oh, really?
It must have snowed a decent amount.
Yeah.
Is that storm that's coming our way? Where they're calling for snow starting about 3 p.m. tomorrow, and we're calling for at the mountain. They're calling for 17 inches right now.
Is the Mountaineer?
Yes, Mountaineer. No, at Bromley, my ski center.
Well, not Sam. Anything gone? Have you guys looked at that yet?
I have not, but I love Sam Houston.
Oh, okay. 4-1.
Bet Sam Houston. 12% takeout in horizontal. Daily double pick 3, not just pick 5s. 12% takeout in all horizontals. That's the best value in racing. Like, support that so we stop getting fucking jackpot pick 6s, please.
But that jackpot pick 6 has only got 12% takeout.
Don't start.
Yeah, don't start.
It's got a guaranteed pot of $3 million too.
Oh, dude, that's some nonsense going on.
That gets me so bad.
With what was that tomorrow? The Sunshine Millions or whatever. There's like a $3 million. Like, yeah, sure. It's at what, 2.5 million right now?
I don't know. I mean, it's never going to get hit until mandatory payout day.
Gulfstream could say it's got $100 million pot, and they'll just sit there and spin before a post until it gets $100 million in the pot.
Yeah,
that's what they do. Shiesty is fun.
Mark, looks like you're firing a fairly top-heavy pick 3 coming up.
Yeah, I sort of am. And I pay out in this leg as well, so I'm a little nervous about how I want to structure this and not waste money. But yeah, I'm basically single A to the 8 and single A to the 10 in the following leg. So
wow, I tell you what, the pick 3 to the 8 is paying $98 for 50 cents. That seems kind of insane given that, I mean, price wise, there weren't any huge prices, and you're going to a 6-5 here to close this out.
Yep. That seems quite good. That's what I was hoping for. Honestly, I was hoping to catch a price in here. I didn't really, but you have big enough fields that's one of the things you get at Turfway sometimes. Hey, 12 horse fields, a couple of them in a row. There's so many tickets to get burned up with, non-winners that these things pay when they're not that hard.
Yeah. So, I mean, the horse I've been keying most of my evening around was, well, technically the 11 horse last race, but the second horse I was really keying it around 2 horse here. I just think this 2 horse has a really good chance to get loose. It has the inside draw. I mean, yeah, the 5 might have a little bit of speed. There's a couple other horses that have flash speed at one point or another. Maybe the maybe the 7 tries to go a little bit. But I think the 2 is by far the quickest out of the gate, the most consistent in terms of making the lead. And, I think a mile and a 16th was obviously too far last time. So this horse is getting the cut back, which I think, is a pretty strong angle for, Turfway. So the horse set some fast fractions last time against, what is probably much better in Churchill Downs, straight claiming 25. Now gets Turfway claiming 18. It remains to be seen if the horse handles the synthetic, but so far she's done just fine over dirt, just fine over turf. So I think this horse, and also the trainers in the past 3 years is 24% going dirt to synthetic. So I think this 2 is the horse that they're going to have to catch. The other horses I'm a little interested in would be the 5 and the 8. The 5 might kind of inherit the lead if something would happen to the 2. And the 8 is arguably the most logical contender here. Had some traffic last out, first time off of a long way off. Has every right to step forward off of that race. But at 6-5, the 8's just way too short for me to bet at this stage. So I'm using the 2 most prominently. I haven't exactly decided how I'm going to play this yet. We still have 13 minutes. I may key the 2 over 5-8 in exactas. I may, what I'll more likely do is play a pretty large 2 with the 7-10 daily double into the next race. I think both the 7 and 10 are also likely, lone speed horses. More so the 7 is who I'm. The 10's a bit more of a stretch, but 2-7 is probably where most of my action will go. And it looks like the 7 next race is taking quite a bit of action in the daily double pools.
I was actually, I know you started talking about the 7 in the next race. At a huge price, I was actually really interested in the 7 in this race. And I was like, looking at it, and I'm like, I could see it. And then I look over at the tote board, and it's 7-1 from 20-1 morning line. So I am much less interested in the 7 now.
Is it normal for morning lines to be that bad here? Like, this is one of the worst tracks I think I've ever seen.
Have you played Gulfstream?
Okay, but that's different there. I mean, there's so many inside angles and somebody knows backstretch and massive money flowing because of it. This track just seems like it's I don't know. I don't even know how you put a finger.
It's just bad.
I know people like to give Aragona shit, but I think he does a pretty decent job on especially what ends up being a really freaking insider heavy circuit.
I mean, I think Aragona's more aggressive at making his morning lines, which, can backfire sometimes, and sometimes it's good, but he's not afraid to make a horse 4 to 5, 3 to 5. Whereas a lot of times you'll see odds makers kind of make the horse 7 to 5 or 8 to 5. A lot of money, they might sound similar, but there's a lot of money between 4 to 5 and 8 to 5. So, he's not afraid to make a big favorite. Sometimes I think he, swings and misses, but it's not an easy job. So I'm not saying I could do any better than some of these guys. I could.
And by the way, because he's fishing for the the shout out. Oh, hi Tom, who's got us in the big stream. How's it going, buddy?
Oh, is that why we're at 12 viewers instead of 11 like we normally are?
Yeah. He's got us up on his big screen, which is my head bigger than anybody should ever have to look at it as. It's just,
So I
nobody wants
think
to see my head.
I bet you Tom's probably got like a smoking jacket on right now. And is either
He's definitely got a pretty comfy pair of like wool lined or like shearling lined slippers on.
which
which
those
is
fleece ones.
quite-
Yeah.
Yeah, they're quite fleecy.
And then he's got the dog that look the gelded dog that can't get in a daycare anywhere. Super fluffy.
Poor Ralph.
Poor Ralph. I will mention though that Ralph has an amazingly good Instagram feed.
Dude, that dog's so photogenic.
Much better looking than his owner.
Meanwhile, dude, I've literally seen like 5 different pictures of Tom where he just looks completely different in each picture. I didn't even know they were all him.
How old are they? Because there's a massive Tom change through the years.
Oh yeah, he sent us that.
Yeah, Tom lost a huge amount of weight.
Yeah, he looked nothing like that at Arlington.
Looks nothing like he does now. He worked his butt off and lost a lot of weight. So go Tom.
Dennis says that he's surprised we have any viewers since we can't seem to find anyone. I mean, he's not wrong.
Dennis
Doing
just
okay.
throwing shade.
I mean, he's not wrong.
I mean, we find winners. It's just usually after the race.
And I just have to go 6 deep to find them. That's all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just as important to know who's not going to win as to know who.
I mean, I pretty much jinxed myself by playing the first race and hitting it. Like, that was pretty much the kiss of death for today, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dennis is talking all this shit. I better see Dennis fucking Trusty in that leaderboard tomorrow at horsetourneys.com.
That's right.
I better see Dennis. I better see Spencer's name in there. Who else we got? Picks by Dynasty better be in there.
Yeah, Hall of Horse Racing Twitter. Vinny, Nick,
I mean,
all the guys
where's
from
Gorgonzola
Daily
at? Where's Gorgonzola
Yeah.
at? We gotta get his ass on there.
I mean, I'm thinking we'll get probably, at least. I mean, we've always pulled at least 50. I'm thinking this is the third one. Been getting bigger. Sunshine Millions Day. We might pull 80 people. So you figure playing for, winner takes probably 2/3 of the pot. So you're probably getting $600 off an $11 investment that gets you action all day. So let's put that money where your mouth is, Dennis. Let's see it.
And I think horse players or horse tourneys also has a thing where they give free PPs out, if I'm not mistaken. So if you're somebody that the fact of buying 3 PPs throws you off, I think they give them out for free.
Yep, you get all 8 races,
Which is really nice, and I'm probably going to do that in between races now. I am going to throw a couple bets in. Like I said, I'm going to throw some weighted doubles with the 2 here, 2 with the 7 for $10, 2 with the 5, 2 with the 10 for $5, and then a small $2 2 with the 2 daily double. I'm also going to key this 2 in an exacta key box with the 5 and the 8.
I'm currently watching the BME Awards.
I'm currently kicking myself because I forgot that Los L was running tonight. I did not put a pick place 8 in, and yeah, that's I tend to do very well in that wager.
I'm just gonna keep watching these odds on the 2 in this race. If they stay pretty good, I will place a wager to win. I need to get some. Capital here though. So I kind of like this 5 as well, but this 5's probably gonna be.
So apparently, everybody Ski for Fun wants to throw out shout out because apparently he can cook mac and cheese, which for him is a skill. So it looks tasty and looks like there's some chicken there. I mean, it's legit.
But did he put beef jerky in it?
Nobody. It does not look. It looks a little. Look, who puts beef jerky in?
Isn't Ski for Fun
really?
like the beef jerky guy? Doesn't he like make beef jerky? Doesn't he just send people beef jerky? Am I making this up? I'm pretty sure.
Did you just dream this? Where did this come from?
Really?
Wait, Ski for Fun? Or is that the question? His pictures of his mac and cheese are off topics. So.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. I'm pretty sure that he sends beef jerky to people. That's why I made the joke. You guys are acting like I'm fucking crazy.
Well, it's a shoe fits.
Well...
This must be what Dennis feels like.
Yeah, let's see. I guess that mac and cheese looks pretty good. I'm not a mac and cheese guy.
Oh, I love a good mac and cheese.
Whoa.
Better.
Hold on a second. I didn't realize that was an option not to be a mac and cheese guy.
Dude, everybody in the world loves macaroni. It just doesn't do it for me. If I get a good baked mac and cheese, that's good. But just standard Kraft mac and cheese, I can do without it.
All right. So here's the deal, all right? We're in Saratoga, right? 3 of us. Caleb, where do you want to go to dinner?
In Saratoga?
I mean, anywhere. In Saratoga, but what kind of restaurant would you want to go to?
I mean, I'm a big meat guy, so I would do steak or seafood probably.
Mark is down with the seafood, not the steak.
All right. Seafood's good. I mean, I don't know what the seafood scene's like up in Saratoga Springs, but
Fish on 30 Lake is pretty damn solid. So
yeah,
good seafood place.
Yeah, what's good up there? I mean, I've been to Saratoga once, but as someone who's more of a local, recommendation.
There's a million different restaurants. Saratoga is a crazy town just because it's so seasonal as far as the number of people there. I think last I checked, it had the highest number of restaurants per capita in the United States. So lots and lots and lots of good options. As well as places you can go to a new place every night for months and never repeat and always get good food. So lots of options. All depends on what you like.
Wow.
All right. Imagine a chicken sandwich, right? That's the size of your head.
So
is
Josh,
that what is it? Hattie's? What's that called?
Yep,
yeah,
Hattie's,
I've heard of that. I've heard.
Yeah, the thing that sucks though is they closed their downtown. They used to have a restaurant right on it's on Caroline Street, which is right where we were downtown.
That's where all the bars are. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the next street over. It was on Philo, not Caroline. But they closed that, and now they've moved it sort of slightly out of town. But they do a lot of catering and that kind of stuff. But we'll go to their real restaurant some night for dinner. Hattie's was a place that back in the late 60s, you'd go in there at 2:00 in the morning and Hattie's back frying chicken up, and Bob Dylan would be sitting there on the front playing a guitar. And and it's in a restaurant that's got 5 tables in it. It's the size of your living room. It's a tiny little place, but food is absolutely phenomenal. If you like chicken, her recipe is just off the hook good.
Yeah, that sounds good. I mean, I've heard good things. The best fried chicken I've ever had. Is it fried chicken?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all
best fried chicken I've had was in New Orleans. and it was just absolutely phenomenal. Willie Mays Scotch House, if you ever make it down that way. But I'd be interested to see. I've heard so much about Hattie's up in Saratoga. I definitely want to try.
Yeah, this
Yeah, they have
this
a
two's
little-
taking way
they-
too much money. I can't bet this.
Yeah, Hattie's got a spot at the track, and like they serve like 4 menu items. It's like you can get a chicken sandwich. You can get like the one that's like 6 pieces of chicken in a thing. They do like a fried watermelon or something, and like but it's like 4 menu items, and they have a line that on a big day you'll wait 30 minutes to get in line, and it's the only place that's got that kind of line there. It's legit. Come on up there in the summer, Caleb, and we'll take your.
Yeah, I'll have to plan a trip up there. I've been meaning to get back up. I didn't get to go last year.
I'm gonna get clubhouse set of tickets this year. I'll probably get 4. So come up and
Nice.
chill in the clubhouse, and be degenerate. It'll be
Is now.
Yeah, that's right. We'll plan it.
Post time.
All right. Well, anyone else have action here? I know Mark
Yeah,
and
I do.
Josh. What do you got?
I'm skipping. I wanted this 2 at like 3-1, and it's 9-5 currently.
I agree. I love this too, and I'm
9 to 5
pretty
on
leveraged
Sundress.
to this too. But wow, 9-5 is just
Don't stop.
terrible value. I mean, he's not playing that way at all,
And they're at the
so I'm not
post.
going to worry about canceling any bets. The 8 is still the overwhelming favorite in
They
doubles.
are
But
racing.
wow, yeah, did that
Yeah.
too take
At these odds, I probably should have played something on the 6, but
figure 2 doesn't make the lead.
Then Sundress away.
Yeah, I cashed to the 6 or 8 here. So
then a margin of 2 looked the other way in the 7th position, and at the back
I really like the 7 too, but I didn't fire, and of course it floated back up.
Now the 2 gets a clean ass rail bid.
Yeah, this is a string. I mean, 2 needed to have a 2-length cushion for him to hold. At 22 and 3, I don't think he's good enough to win from here, but we'll see. I hope he is, but I don't think he is.
6 is way far back. The 8 is not
Oh, look at this
Look the other
one.
way from between horses.
Weird.
Don't stop Maria. Parking ticket is finishing with interest, but she's in about the 6th path as Sundress cuts
And
the
there's
corner
2
and spins it
re-rallying?
in. Sundress
Six
off
If he
the
holds,
turn,
then
outside.
I'll
the
be
other
a
way,
monkey's
who
uncle.
presents a challenge, but 3 wide.
No, he's not gonna hold.
And Wicked is gaining ground. Many
Looks like this
chances with
5's
the
gonna
16
get
to
up.
go.
Did I
And here
play any
comes
doubles with the
Indiana
5?
Red,
I don't think I
Sweet
did.
and Wicked forging to the front. Sweet and Wicked, well ridden by Rodney Prescott to give him 2 on the card. Look the other way was second. Tight photo for third. Sundress or Parking ticket in 111 and
Oh,
1.
that's disappointing.
Oh, that sucked.
Yeah, I mean, the 5 was my other choice. But given the way the night's been going so far, I mean, I had 2 as my A and then 5-8 as B's. Only went off 5-1. It's not really as good of a price as I thought. So I don't want to chase the doubles too heavy, and I'm dead again. It's been a tough night so
Yeah.
far. I'm down to the tune of probably $80.
Yeah, I'm down to 43. Ugh.
I am down to $10, so this might be another $5. Shout out to the guy who created a YouTube account, Boris Cherry Drank.
Judge is posting number 5, Sweet and Wicked as the race.
I wonder if that's King of
So
Deals.
number 1 looked the other way. There was a photo for third, but the result of the photo showed the 2 Sundress to be third and fourth, the 6 Parking ticket. 5, 1, and 2, 6.
King of Deals
5,
is
1,
currently
2, 6.
interrogating me about how I know Andy Sterling.
How you know Andy Sterling? Well, I mean, we saw him at Hamlet and Ghost.
Yeah, we were hanging out with him at Hamlet and Ghost. I mean, Andy's just Andy. He's pretty chill. But he does not like Tom for some reason. For some reason, Tom and Andy don't get along. He kind of told off Tom.
No
Oh,
kidding.
Really?
Yeah, we were standing there and Andy came walking by and Tom tried to chat him up and Andy kind of like said something and brushed him off and walked away. Man, whatever. Kind of like, give him the cold shoulder. I mean, maybe just sense the asshole. I don't.
I mean, Andy's, irritable and cold on a good day, so I don't know that I would take that to heart, Tom.
I would.
Andy's
Tom.
one of those people. Andy's one of those people that's a phenomenal handicapper, but he's like a little too smart for his own good and he way overthinks things. So he ends up sort of coming up with these way like 12-layer deep opinions that you go, oh yeah, that was really good, but you just way overthought that. Like that was, you didn't have to go that deep. You missed the obvious.
Yeah, he is a good capper, but yeah, he does kind of get a little lost in the weeds at times. And he's also kind of a snarky asshole on Twitter.
Oh, totally. Always has been. But that's Andy. Andy's also somebody from Saratoga that thinks they're from New York, which is sort of a funny deal because most people who are upstate, like really upstate, like north of Albany, tend to like disassociate with the sort of New York City attitude thing. Andy like soaks it up and loves it.
So he'd get along great with Gary.
Yes, him and Gary would be like this.
Oh man, yeah, that 5 made a lot of sense. I just was not really. I was thinking that we would still see some speed hold here. I thought that 2 was going to get there out in the front, and the 2 didn't even make the lead. And when the pace scenario does not show up the way you think it's going to, funny stuff happens.
Yeah, that's been my day. I had a couple of nice hits at Santa Anita. That's actually been the track that's sort of been keeping me above water most of this year so far. But just not getting the right handle on the pace, most of tonight at Turfway has been what's costing me. Just horses not being where I think they are. And it's tough to handicap when that happens. I mean, if the pace doesn't, it's one thing if you think 2 horses might go to the lead and one of the 2 just outbreaks the other. But, like in that first race, I mean, how does that 4 end up, 8 lengths off the pace? Or how does this 2 end up off a step slow and not making the lead over the 3? And, it's just been a hard time kind of getting a good handle on the pace so far.
Curious, I didn't look at the wheel pace. The 5 playing. 5 was not playing short at all. Wow. The 5, I mean, was morning line 7-2, floated up to 5-1, and it looks like the will pays played like it was 5-1. The pick 3 was a little bit more flat, but the double will pays for sure. I mean, $50 versus 17 or 33 for the 8 and 2 respectively. That was interesting. Yeah, that 2 just didn't break at all. Well, move on and start looking at race 7 here. They go official.
I'm trying to decide how much full tilt I want to go on right now.
How much full tilt to go on?
Yeah, I'm sitting it.
I'll tell you right now that I'm digging the 7, and looking at the will pays, the 7 might be playing at odds that I will be interested.
I hope you're right because the 7 is my play as well, but I think he's going to be a little short.
I say I also like the 7, so I prefer the 10. I also like the 7.
Yeah, I prefer the 7, but I also like. I mean, the 2 is probably the one other horse I could use.
Oh, how stupid.
It's tough for me here though because I don't like anything in the last. I really like the 11. I liked the 2 last race. I liked the 7 this race. I was hoping to have a couple doubles or a pick 3 and a couple big bets that have hit already. That means I don't have to have anything in that last race because I don't really have much of a strong opinion in that last one. But I may be kind of forced to play some doubles depending on what the exactas or post time odds are looking like for the 7 here because I'm not really interested in that horse at 5-2 or 3-1, but we'll see where it shakes out. It looks like he's opening up at 6-1. All the early money is on the 10, 8-5.
Yeah, the 10 was the horse I wanted the most of here, so makes sense. A little bit of 3 in the 7. Didn't the 2 open up as the favorite?
On my feed, it's showing the 10 at 9-5 and the 2 at 3-1.
Okay, mine just caught up 10 at 8-5. Yeah, the Twin Spires is not notorious for being up to date, so
Yeah.
it amazes me that people deal with feeds that are this bad. Their
Which
UI
one?
is Twin Spires. Their UI is like next to useless. It's absolutely insane how long it takes to punch multi-tickets in.
Boris Cherry Drink says tilt me harder, daddy. So it's either King of Deals or Pow.
It's King.
Oh.
I just pulled up Aqueduct tournament, and it looks like they're getting like 1 to 4 inches of snow. That'll be something to keep an eye
Yeah, but
on.
it's not supposed to start until pretty late in the day, like 3 p.m.
Okay.
I honestly think you're going to be fine tomorrow at Aqueduct. I think it's late enough in the day that it's not going to be a problem.
Well, I'm going to start my handicapping with the Gulf Streamer.
Hey, I didn't check to see if was it race 2? See if that try hit that Broberg gave out. Nope, didn't hit. Instead, a Luzzy bomb came in. And by Luzzy bomb, I mean F. And last race was.
Okay. Go big or go home here. I'm going to leverage up some doubles here. Trying to get the 10 primarily over the 2-8-12, a little bit of 3-7 over 2-8-12.
You say go big or go home. Does that mean we may have $5 more in the Bourbon Fund after this bet?
I will be down to $4, I think. $4 or $5 left. So pretty much, yeah.
$5 more in does get a bottle of barrel proof Elijah Craig.
We're stepping up. I'm telling you, we're gonna have a bottle of Pappy by the time this thing's over. Why don't you give us a winner at Sam Houston, Josh? I'm sure you want to see one.
Yeah, dude,
we haven't given out one all night.
I want to see any winner right now. I haven't fucking. The only winner I gave out was that one, in that first race. That
nobody was on the stream to see.
Nope, nobody was on the stream to see. Not even Clamps tailed it. So nobody saw it.
If Clamps didn't mush you, then nobody mushed you.
No, dude, I had to post it in like 6 different channels in order to get any kind of notification. Oh shit! Who is the sire on this for?
Are you talking Turfway or
Violence? Dude, there's never mind. No, I'm looking at Sam Houston. I was like, dude, there's a Violence. Looks like a Violence Colt. First time starter. Violence is 21% first time. That's 21. That's 12%. Maybe that's a typo. And then the trainer's hitting at 20%. But it went from 5-1 to 9-5. So I think everybody's all over this. I think the 8 might be worth a look. Stepping up in class, but been real close its last 2 races. And
Dennis,
speed.
Dennis just sent a pretty nice photo of R2D2 get on Twitter. Yeah, I just 5 was possible to have. Yeah.
Yeah, I think over here at Sam Houston, it's either going to be the 5, which means the 4 is going to win. I mean, this 9 has got Unbridled Song. I mean, it's out of Unbridled, or Unbridled's Heat is the sire, but it's got Unbridled Song, which is so it's got a little bit of a turf pedigree. 7. Oh, the 7's a Kitten's Joy. Lane Luzzy, Danny Pish. First after the claim, Pish is 22%. Luzzy and Pish hitting at 24%. Maybe the 7's worth a look. I know Lane Luzzy, well, he's okay. He's on the turf. He's 15%. Oh, I'm supposed to like throw out horses. Yeah, I mean, really, there's only 4 horses in here. I think 4, the 5, the 7, and the 8. So, oh, the 9 scratch. So, yeah, I would think that maybe like the 5 and the 7. Case is asking if I'm odds. Talking about Have you had this one, Caleb? The barrel proof Elijah Craig?
I have had that before, yeah. I think it's good. You gotta, if you enjoy barrel proof, a little higher proof bourbons, it's a really good value, I think.
Yeah, it's gone up in price a little bit, I hear. This bottle was $60.
Oh, was it really? It has gone up. I haven't bought it in a while. 40. They actually had a Knob Creek barrel proof that was like, I mean, the label says 9, but it's really 13-year. I was considering picking that up the other day.
Yeah, that's probably looks like this one, the one that I had earlier.
Yeah, that's what made me think of it.
Yeah, it's a store pick. I've seen
Yeah.
it go as old as 15-year. There's a couple of batches of 15-year out there that this store in particular had. I haven't seen any in the wild. This one's an 11-year, but I think that the lowest they start at is 9-year.
Yeah, I'm a little worried that it might be a little too oaky, being 13, 14, 15-year aged. But I'd like to try it for sure.
Yeah, the barrel proof Elijah Craig is dated, so it's 12 years. And it's pretty easy to find, which is good. There's a lot of I still think that even with all of the bourbon craziness, with all these hard to find bottles, there's still a lot of good stuff that's fairly easy to find no matter where you're at. One of my favorites actually right now is the Maker's Mark cask strength. It's a little bit on the lower end of the cask strength. I think usually it's bottled at like 110 proof, I think the bottle I have might be 109. But I mean, by me, I can find it for as cheap as $35.
It's not bad. I've seen it at the store here. It's a little more than that. I mean, I've been tempted to try it, but I don't really like Makers. Like regular Makers.
I do not like Makers at all, and I really like this.
Yeah, I've heard that from a lot of people, which is why I want to give it a chance. Like, Makers is kind of sweet for me. But I hear like the Makers 46 is a step up from that, but the Makers cask strength is actually really good. So
with regular
I
Makers,
might give it a chance.
With regular Makers, I get that real heavy like grass taste
that
you get from weeded bourbons. And it's just like, I mean, it just tastes like grass clipping. And Chase says I look schlubbier. I don't know what that means. Might be because I've like a month past due for a haircut, but
Yeah, a little bit of a fro going on, Josh.
all right, I'm gonna fire away at Sam Houston here.
Go big or go home, Josh.
I have to make sure I make the bet on the right AEW. Not to mix.
Well, I'm down to a 0 balance at the moment, so
Nice,
if I don't
yes.
get this late double, I will be contributing to the Bourbon Fund.
I'm playing a double here. Nothing too crazy. I'm playing a $3 double, 7 with the 128. And then I'm playing literally just a $1 double, more of a head, 210 with the 128.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my double. I'm trying to really leverage the 10 over the 2812. Really pressing that with a little. The B is much smaller, so I went 10x on the A and 2x on the B. The B is 3.7 over 2812. So really levered to this 10 here.
And I'm also debating throwing out a 7 over 210 exacta key box. Right now, those 10-7 exactas are paying 34. The 2.7's paying 33. Those are okay. It's probably as low as I'd want to take it. Yeah, you're not. My three choices are all fairly flat. 3-1, 4-1, and 2-1. So unless I'm gonna just commit the 7 to winning, it's a little bit tougher to come up with a wager I like vertically. What's the play at Sam Houston, Josh? Give me a winner.
I'm going with the 7 here.
7?
Yeah,
5 to 1.
Big Egypt. It's a kitten's joy. Going back to the turf after trying the turf twice, and then going to dirt. First after the claim, Danny Pish is 22%. He's hitting at 40%. It looks like at Sam Houston, in a small sample size. But him and Luzzy have been hitting at 24%. So I'm going to take a chance here with the 7 win bet, and then I'm going to play an exact the 7 over the 4, the 5, and the 8.
How
This 4
hard do I
looks
go after
good.
the 7, Josh?
What's up?
How hard do I go after the 7?
Which one? The Sam Houston one? Well, I am on my 4th bourbon of the night, so I could be reading this PP wrong.
Is the 4th bourbon, does that improve the handicapping skill? Is it like more like 10 level, or is it, bring it back?
The funny thing is that it's just like with golf, after you have like 2 or 3 drinks, like you're good, and then once that 4th drink hits, somewhere between that 3rd and 4th drink, you don't know how many sips in, but somewhere in there, that's when the swing starts to go, and you start to see those diminishing returns. We were, I went with my buddy, who, he lives in Saudi Arabia now, but we went and played one of the municipal courses over here, and we're playing as a twosome, and we catch up to this couple who's playing in front of us, and they're like, hey, like the people in front of us are kind of slow, why don't we just group up? And they seem nice. Like, I hate playing on the golf course and being forced into like grouping up with people, but if you're just like standing there and waiting with another group of people and they seem nice, it's usually not that bad to sit there and play with them. And these people were wonderful. They're probably some of the nicest people I've played with, like who I've randomly met up with. So we're sitting there, and I think we played like 3 or 4 holes with them. And I'm not a good golfer at all. I probably average like a 105, 108 playing 18. Like, I'm, garbage. I go out there and I'm just, whatever, hacking away. But all of a sudden, dude, I fucking par this first hole, par the second hole, par the third hole, and I'm just like Like, I'm fucking, this is fucking best I've ever played. And the whole time I'm telling these people how bad I am at golf. And they're like, wow, you're so modest. I'm like, no, you guys don't understand how awful I am. And so they're just like, wow, like this time he's just cleaning up. And so my buddy turns to him and goes, it's just, don't worry. I just saw him finish his third beer. Like, he's done. And sure enough, dude, freaking like triple bogey the next hole. Another triple bogey.
God.
Double bogey. And they're like, oh, okay.
There it is.
Yeah, there it is. That room between that first and third beer, dude, I got it keyed in, but keeping that buzz just doesn't happen. I don't know. Are you guys golfers? I don't know if you've ever really talked about that.
I'm not a golfer. I'm a terrible golfer.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
a hunter. Yeah.
I am terrible at golfing, and yeah, it's just not my summer thing. So
Like, I'd like to be like average. I don't want to be good. That's a lot of work. But I'd like to be like, weekend warrior, like corporate event, like not make a fool out of myself level of good at golfing.
yeah, agreed. I'd like to be tolerable. I'm not tolerable. It's bad.
I'm gonna go 4-7 here at Sam Houston, Josh. I'm gonna reverse.
That's probably the right play.
I think
No,
I
I'm-
almost win
We
bet this.
play show on the
4.
7. Josh said the 7, so I trust in Josh. So
Big
Yeah.
Egypt, dude. You trust in Luzzy. 6-4-2-1's probably got like $100 bet across the board on this horse. Hold on, let me check. Oh shit, he doesn't. Oh, they're off.
so you can't mush your Leslie about him then.
All right, I gotta actually look at this Turfway race again.
Actually, I don't know if I put a bet in or not yet. Make sure I did.
Yeah, the 7's at 7-2. God damn.
Yeah, my bets are in. Okay.
So Josh, did your horse yet leave the gate?
Yeah, he's sitting in 5th right now. He's got some cover.
Oh, that's him on the outside. Okay, got it.
Yeah, he's in. Got some cover there. He's in
This
he's in
whole
okay
this
spot.
whole turfs on at night thing is hard for me. So
Remember what was that race at Saratoga where it got super fucking dark?
dude, let's not talk about that. I'm still a little salty about the fact that the fucking price that I had that won, but we forgot to turn on the light on the finish line, and that was.
Wait, so what happened?
They issued a dead heat between two horses when, if you watch the video, one horse is ahead of the other.
No,
But they forgot to turn on the finish line light, and it was one of the last races of the day, and it was overcast, and it was getting dark, but you couldn't really tell. So, this 7, Josh. Oh, Josh, he's gonna
Dude, get up, dude.
He's gonna get it. Gonna
Get up because I got that 8 in second
Get
too.
up easy.
Nice.
Nice.
There we go.
Sounds like
Winning
Count
and
Francis.
exacta.
In the competition.
Yeah, we just have to Josh find a different track where he can pick.
Yeah. Maybe we should pick Sam Houston instead of Turfway. First winner we've had all night.
Very nice, Josh. Very nice. That made me some money. Thank you. I may have
Dude,
done a 6
guess how much that exacta's gonna pay? $160 for.
Are you serious? Wow.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
Wow.
Oh. Dude, I don't know, dude. We get on stream and I'm just a fucking idiot. So we got 2 minutes to post here. I'm still liking the 7 here, but I don't know if I can take. It floated up to 5-1.
Yeah,
I really like this 10 here, like a lot. And I think 7-2 is.
What? Wait, am I looking at the right?
playable.
Am I looking at the right tote board?
Yeah, you should get 3-1 on the 10, and 7-2 on the 7.
Yeah, my odds aren't refreshing. Okay, I was like, what the fuck? Because I saw the 10, and the 10 was like 5-1. I was like, holy shit! No, my odds weren't refreshing on Twin Spires. Still 7-2. I mean, the 7 makes a lot of sense. With speed, but I don't know, with the way that the last couple of races have gone. 8 scratched out.
Did you have any part of that exacta, Josh?
Yeah, I got it.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
I played.
wow.
I played the 7 over the 4, the 5, and the 8.
Damn. Very nice, man.
I had it for
I
two.
didn't
I just had it
realize
for
you had
$2.
No, I knew you had the winner. I didn't realize you had the exacta as well. Damn.
Dennis gave it out to you. He told you he'd bet the 8. Didn't like the price of the 10.
What I like about the 8.
They've reached the gate. It's post time. Loading in for race 7 from
Yeah, Dennis
Turfway
knows what
Park.
he's talking
Field of
about,
9
so.
open, 8 claimers to race 1 mile. Seven-time winner taking the slow road in, 5-1. Up comes Creative Courage for Dougie. Heart
I
in
may have
Hand
bet that
coming up
7
at
in sort of a 6-4
26-1.
2-1 manner. So I'm doing good right now. That was nice.
I got 5 to win on the 7 here.
Looking for his third on the card. Northern Luck, the big long shot, 42-1. Blue Silk's Red Cap coming up. And now just one left. LCR Stable and Cynthia Page Sparks. Kid on top to the outside. They're at the post.
And that box is 7 and a 10.
They are racing. Creative Courage jumped
Never
well,
box
but it's
Josh.
Hard in Hand who has the most speed. Now squeezed upon. There goes Huckleberry Hill and even Northern Luck and Keat on top. Well bunched as they run the first turn. It's Hard in Hand shows the way, but Mr. Chow was allowed to sneak through.
7's look late money. He's 5-2.
Huckleberry Hill to the outside second. Hard in Hand.
And he didn't even make the lead. Like, I should just quit tonight. How this 2 makes the lead is beyond me.
Then link for the back. Creative Courage broke well, but he is fourth last.
If this 2 doesn't win from here, there ought to be an investigation.
Then comes Mansour, and taking the slow road is at his customary trailing position. The 7-time winner has about 15 links to race as they head up the backside with 4.5 furlongs to travel. The first quarter was 24 and 1/5 seconds. Mr. Chow shows the way 3 parts of a length. Huckleberry Hill tracking from second to the inside. Hard in Hand third. Out wide is Keat on top, advancing to the inside. Creative Courage and a space of 2 to Northern Luck. Now on the move, gets Schnell. Then a link for the back to Mansour and taking the slow road.
Well, let's see if the 7's going to make a move. I don't know. 2 might be.
Half of 47. And 2.
I don't think this
Mr.
2 can
Chow,
get
the veteran
Depends.
10-year-olds on the English Channel, shows the way. Is extended lead to a length and a half. Huckleberry Hill still chasing from second. 3 wide. Hard in Hand. 4 wide comes Keat on top. Meanwhile, Creative Courage is going to cut to corner. 3/4 12 as they turn on down for the money. Mr. Chow in search of 8 lifetime wins. Here comes Creative Courage.
Looks like 2's going to win by as many as he wants.
Down the center of the track. Late from the backfield, Mansour, but with a 16 left to go.
I mean, there's just. I mean, if you can tell me that 2 makes the.
And going.
That's been the problem all day. Is I've been all of my keys around favorable pace setups where I think a horse might get, a really good trip on the front, and every single time there's been horses that went to the front that don't normally go there, and when as a handicapper, that's so frustrating.
When you can't understand pace, like there's just when the pace doesn't make any sense. Like there's no semblance of why a horse is on the lead versus not. It's impossible to. Well, I'm gonna be adding to the Bourbon funds.
Yeah, I mean, my PP goes back to May of 2018, and this horse has never made the lead, including against. And it's not like this is a huge class drop. He's been at this level for a number of times.
Yeah, like the weird part. I mean, at least the 2 made sense. Like I think the 2 made sense winning that race, but. Not that way. Like that's just kind of
exactly.
This is kind of weird.
The 2 winning doesn't surprise me. But the way the 2 wins that race in my mind is the 7 and the 10 maybe hook up, or the race kind of 7 is just not good enough and 2 comes from off the pace. But I have a hard time imagining a scenario where the 2 makes the lead and just opens up in the stretch.
Yeah, that's hard to come up with.
And those were strong fractions. 47 and 2 is not slow for this claiming 8,000 level, and he still drew off for the 10-year-old gelding.
Yeah. So going back to that Sam Houston race, reason I used that 8 was the 8 looked like to be the only real speed who's shown any kind of speed on turf. So I mean the 10 was sprinting, so has shown a little bit of speed, but it looked like the 8 at least had been sprinting on the turf and had some speed. So I figured the 8 would be able to be on the lead. So I always, especially when constructing exactas, even if I think it's cheap speed up front, I tend to like to put it in second place behind something that's gonna obviously pass it down the stretch, because a lot of times, and especially in this case, I mean that 8 ended up going off at 22-1. That's the exact kind of horse you want to have in second and third if you're playing exactas and tries. So worked out for me. My $9 bet returned like $170 or so, 173. So I've made up all the money I've lost doing this damn stream in that one race. So
yeah, but you didn't do it in the actual contest for this stupid stream, so
Doesn't count.
yeah, so instead I have the first race I hit, of course, was Turfway race 1, and then I got this one. So now I have $1 left in my bankroll.
Ooh.
For this 8th race. So
I'm alive in a $1 double to the 1, 2, and 8. I don't, that's probably going to pay like $20 to $30. So I'm not really excited to have that going. But I don't really like this race. So I'm probably not going to have any other action and just kind of take my $95 loss for the day and divide the day. I may spot play a win bet depending on prices, but this is my least confident race of the day, and I haven't hit my confident races. So sometimes you got to know when to cut and run.
Cut and run straight to Sam Houston.
That's right. I mean, to a new track.
Yeah, I am. I'm out of it, so I will owe money to the Bourbon Fund. So, yeah.
So going back to Sam Houston, I do see 2 horses here that are at some prices that I think I might actually, which is the 7, which is Asmussen with Iram Diego aboard in maiden claim or maiden special weight. This 10 is taking a ton of money. Oh, it's a Brett Calhoun horse. Interesting. So apparently Calhoun shipped a horse that's been running at Indiana Grand, Keeneland, Churchill, Fairgrounds, down to Sam Houston. With Deshaun Parker aboard, who's at 25% so far. But I mean, this Asmussen, if it goes off at is a use, especially in you always got to use the Asmussen in Oklahoma or Texas. And then we got another Pish Luzzy, the 2 here. Out of Tonalist, or Tonalist is a sire. What do you know about Tonalist as a sire, Mark?
He's been a fairly okay sire. He hasn't been blowing anything out of the water, but he's been legit. There's nothing wrong with Tonalist. In any type of I mean, I don't specifically know his stats as they relate to a certain type of race, but he's been a okay sire so far.
Wait, what is up with the 7? Because the 7 has got the pedigree on the 7. Interesting that it's at 9-2 right now. Well, the 10 is at 3-5.
You're really gonna make me look at this Houston race, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, dude, this Asmussen horse, I mean, I think is going to be an overlay at this point. I know the pools are small, but Mark is really interested in the 9, Mark's Saint, with David Cabrera aboard. He's hitting at 35%. How's our boy Chase? Is he out again? Or is he still alive?
I think he's alive, but he's a hurting boy.
And he says, and he's done. So I don't know if that means like he's done because he missed a bunch of these races and he's just like done, or if he's like out of money.
I would imagine he's very horizontal at the moment.
And he's more of a vertical player, so.
So
I'm not
this
sure
Mark's
he's living his best life.
He is not living his best life. So this Mark Saint, do I like buy this horse across the board?
If it's a prize, I think you have to.
Okay, we'll make that happen.
Oh shit! Yeah, so apparently it is snowing pretty bad because Primestone posted an off-topic this picture of a bunch of fucking snow, and he lives probably about 30 minutes from me.
Wow.
Josh, you could open up like a window up and look outside.
I guess I could open up the blackout curtains. Actually, I'm gonna go grab some other whiskey because I think I've had enough barrel-proof whiskey for one night, and I probably should get something a little bit lighter. So I'm gonna go grab some Buffalo Trace. So I'll be right back.
I think I'm getting too drunk. I'm gonna.
I'm getting too drunk. I need to get alcohol that's gonna make me a little less.
Oh,
So
man.
this little book is beating me down because it plays like it has no alcohol content, but oh my god, yeah, it's sneaking up on me.
Yeah. I've been enjoying this E.H. Taylor quite a bit. I haven't been eating many carbs, and I think my tolerance has kind of gone to shit, but
that E.H. Taylor is just so good. I was blown away by how good that stuff was. I was very impressed.
It's phenomenal.
And when you're talking the price point, I mean, it's an amazing bourbon, but then you add the price point into it, and it just becomes that much better. It's very low priced. I mean, high tier bourbons go, it's very inexpensive. You're talking a little more than the equivalent makers. And
what are you talking about?
E.H. Taylor.
Oh yeah.
E.H. Taylor.
You just gotta find it.
Yeah. I
know where there's at least 6 of them. So
yeah.
I actually changed my mind. I grabbed this.
Scotch.
Glenlivet 12.
You're gonna drink bourbon for 2 hours, then go to Scotch.
Yeah, why not? This dude, compared to the bourbons I've been drinking, this is light.
Probably is. Glenlivet 12 is like the ideal training wheel Scotch. I don't mean that in a bad way.
Yeah, it's no. It's entry level Scotch, yeah. But it's.
I really like this flavor profile on this. So I think I might try and just try the different expressions of it, like the more aged ones. I also do like Glenfiddich. I have a bottle of Lefroy, was gifted to my wife, a friend of ours. I usually let my wife drink. She likes it, but I am not a huge fan of those Islay.
I'm not either. I can't do them. I've tried. Maybe it's an acquired taste.
So your wife is a friend who likes the PD. Yes, huh?
Dude. So we went to this place. So there's this distillery out in Michigan. It's called Journeyman. So it's right by the casino. So every time, we'll we'll make like a weekend out of it where we'll drive up to the New Buffalo, which is probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours from here. Um, we'll stay at just like a Holiday Inn or something out there, and there's a couple of breweries there that we really like, and there's this distillery. So we'll go to the casino for a couple hours. We'll go to the like distillery, have lunch, head out to the casino for a couple hours. Next day we'll go to this brewery, and there's like called like a bunch of like small little like towns and stuff. It's like harbor country, so there's a bunch of like there's a lake, all that kind of shit, stuff that you're used to up there in the northeast pack. So we go to this distillery and we're doing this tasting, and they brought out this, and this was years ago. So this is before I started drinking whiskey. This whiskey stuff is probably like a year and a half. I have only been drinking about a year and a half. Before that, I'm mostly a beer guy, and I still would consider myself a beer guy, but I don't feel as shitty the next day if I drink whiskey versus beer. And you just need a lot more beer to get, a buzz and others. Neither here nor there. Anyways, so we go to this place. Me, mostly beer drinker. We're doing like the tasting. They're showing you all the stills and everything. And it's us, and there's this bachelor party there. There's a couple other people. It's probably like 20 of us total. They bring out this barrel proof whiskey, and they're like, yeah, this was probably like 4 or 5 years ago, before barrel proof whiskey. Well, they've always existed, but the past couple of years whiskey's kind of picked up a little bit. So they're sitting there, and they try this barrel proof whiskey, and you see these guys, these like frat guys who probably just drink all the fucking time. They sit there, they take one sip of it, and they're like, oh. I take a sip of it. I'm like, oh, I can't finish that. Everybody is just like making that face, because it's just a bunch of, it's just this fucking random ass distillery that's in the middle of nowhere. So it's not like you're going to Buffalo Trace, it's not like a bunch of people who are going there because they know whiskey and shit. Like, it's just like, I don't know. But there's my fucking wife, dude. Just, oh, this is delicious. And I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? She's like, yeah, that's the bottle I want to buy. I'm like, how? Like, how are you drinking this? And so it was then when I determined that my wife has the drinking habits of like an 80-year-old man. Like, she likes peaty, smoky, strong. Like, she likes cigars. She likes that kind of stuff. And meanwhile, I'm over here. I'm just like, I had to give her the rest of mine because I couldn't finish it. Like, it was fucking crazy.
So we're bringing your wife to Saratoga next year.
That's what I heard.
Like, she's coming. It will make up that a fun time.
Dude, my wife can drink me under the table.
That's like a low bar from
literally, dude. If me, you, Gary went out, and my wife, like, literally, it'd be my wife and Gary hanging out still, and me and you just fucking passed out after. Because, dude, Gary put me away. I tried to keep up with him when we were at Saratoga. Like, I was just like, oh, whatever. He kept on ordering drinks, ordering beers and stuff, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah. And I was like, oh, shit, he's almost done. I better finish mine. And then I pulled ahead of him at some point. And that was probably my undoing. Because I pulled ahead of him, and then I think a drink later, he's like, all right, we got to leave. And I'm like, I think that was more for my sake than his sake. I think he just knew he needed to get me out of there. So we walked to his hotel. He's like, we'll have another drink. And so we slammed another drink. And then he's like, I might need to call an Uber for you. And I'm like, I think I got it. And so he's like, all right. He's like, I'm going to walk you out to your Uber. So he fucking walked me out. I ended up passing out in the car. I left my phone in that Uber. And
oh my God.
I am well aware of this phone that I was trying to chase down the next morning, trying to find this Uber driver. Where's Josh's phone? And can you bring it back to us? What needs to happen so I can make Josh's phone appear?
Yeah, I'm trying to call him. I give Mark this guy's number through Discord, trying to get the hold of this guy. Like, dude, the dude realized, like, maybe like 10 minutes after that he had left it. So he just came and dropped it back off at the hotel. So it was in the fucking lobby the whole time.
Oh, that's a good driver.
Yeah, I know. And so it wasn't an Uber, it was a Lyft. So I guess they get like a finder's fee. Like I think it's like $25 or something.
Oh, really?
Bring the item back, yeah. So they charge you for it, and 100% goes to the driver. So I was like, oh, and I gave the guy a good tip too. So I was like, oh, thank you so much.
5-star.
I mean, that's the second funniest way I've ever lost my phone.
Who loses their phone? I mean, I've never lost my phone ever.
No, dude.
I lost my phone in an Uber, but I also refound it. Although I used to find my iPhone and I actually tracked it to the guy's house.
Oh my god.
The next day. It wasn't the first door I knocked on.
So am I crazy on the 7?
I glanced it over. I mean, it feels like 10 run away. But I like the 7 a bit, and I think at 9-2, that's a good price.
So Dennis thinks that Mrs. Cherry Drank may be the better handicapper of the family. I do not disagree with him. I think we need to prove this out at Saratoga.
Dude, so here's the funny thing about my wife, all right? Is that she, like, so one good example is golf. Like, dude, like we each took like 2 lessons. And my wife is just hitting the ball straight down the middle, 150 yards off the driver. Straight down the middle, 150 yards. And she's like, I don't like this game. Like, I'm like, you're doing great. Like, yeah, she's like, I don't hear it hit it as far as you. I'm like, I'm hitting this shit 200 yards, fucking way the fuck off to the right. You're striping it right down the middle, 150 yards. I think you're doing slightly better than I am. And, but for that reason, she won't play golf. Like, she just fucking just like stripes the ball right down the middle, but nope, not interested.
So she like what hit a pick 6 and then just didn't find
dude.
it.
Yeah, dude. She probably would like. She'll probably like just be like find the fucking like find some like long shot hit for it. Be done. I'm gonna play this 2-7 over 2-7-10 at Sam Houston.
Bring her to Saratoga. We'll stick her and Kath in the spa for the day, and we'll go out and play some ponies. I mean, it's a win-win.
So Mark, how much you still got left?
I am done.
Oh, you're out? Or you have any tickets live?
No, nothing live, and I'm out.
All right. Caleb, you're live to the 1.
I'm live to the 128 for just a $1 double. $5 to win on the 1. I actually might cancel that. The horse was 19-1 when I did it. He's 11-1 now. I need 10-1 or better, or I'm not going to fire. I just thought there was a chance this one could get loose on the front. So I thought, but I've been wrong about that all day. So I'm kind of scaling my bets back accordance with my results. So I'm going to be just pretty light here.
Yeah, that's something that I have sometimes I have a hard time doing. Like even like if I'm not seeing the ball well, I'll keep firing away. Although my problem tends to be is that usually the first like race or two, I'll usually hit something and I'll start feeling good, and then I'll start betting heavier and give it all back plus. So I don't know if there's something about those first couple races. I don't know if it's I look at them differently or something, but I tend to do much better at the beginning than I do.
Yeah, I think there's something to that. I mean, I've been on a lot today. I mean, I did a analysis for Santa Anita. I messed around a little bit at Gulfstream, a little bit at Aqueduct, played most of the Santa Anita card. So by the time Turfway rolls around, like mentally, I think I'm a little tired. So I think that can definitely play a role if you've just been at it for a while.
It's a valid point. I run the same thing. You
Fucking
can find a lot of
I
horses,
hate that.
a lot of tracks, and for me, it tends to be a lot of Tampa recently. So play a bunch of Tampa, and then you're exhausted, and you're not making great decisions. So makes sense.
Well, looks like they're getting ready to load at Sam Houston. 10's 4-5. I mean, he looked pretty tough. I mean, even money is not the worst value on that horse, honestly. But I'll be rooting. And Josh, you got 2-7, you said?
Yeah, 2-7 over 2-7-10.
Okay.
I got flat win bets on the 2 and the 7. See if Luzzy can do it for me again.
Chase has a final play with his last bullet without re-upping, and he's playing a $1 exacta key box, 10 over the 1-2. I think a lot of us. I have the 1 and the 2. Mark, did you have the 10?
I did not.
I didn't either. So Chase is coming up with something interesting with 10. I don't know if that's a horse that any of us really have.
Yeah, I just ended up 2-8-12 there. So
And this 12 looks like he's taking all the money.
I think I'm just going to play like a 12 over 1-2 try for 50 cents. For my last dollar. Turfway.
Nah, it's a 10.
Oh, it's a 10. Oh shit.
10. Yeah.
Oh,
it's
this
a
10's
10.
gonna. This 10's
I mean,
gonna fucking.
he
rob
just
me.
looked like he had a huge pace advantage, but I mean, I don't know Sam Houston fractions well enough. They're pretty out. Sub 24 for this
22
group
and
is
22 and
probably
3.
pretty fast, you would think.
All right, 23 and 3. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, your 7's getting a good trip if he's good enough. He's losing some ground here.
And he's doing the moonwalk on a slower fraction.
Yeah, I guess.
But this 9, I'm all about this 9.
I mean, this is
Mark's
quick.
saying, oh no.
I mean, this 9 I think is hitting the board. I don't know if he's going to catch a 10, but I think this 9's hitting the board. Did you play it across the board, Mark?
I put it across the board. Yeah.
Oh, it sucks you have a 3-5 on top, but
Oh, get there, 9.
oh,
Come on.
9. Oh, Jesus, who's a fly on the outside?
The
It's
1.
gonna run over.
Yeah, he might hold for show unless this 8 comes up. Oh, he might hold for the place.
Oh, he's fighting back.
Nah, show. He'll hold for show, which will pay for itself.
Oh!
Nailed.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
That 10 was much the best.
Yeah, 10 was much the best. But
I mean, it looked obvious, just trying to find value where there really wasn't any.
No, obvious was obvious.
All right. Got a minute to post the last race here.
I'd like to collect a bet tonight, so that'd be nice if this 1, 2, or 8.
I think I've gone 3. This is gonna. If I don't hit this try, it's gonna be 3 straight nights. Hitting a bet on stream. Unless, well, technically I did hit a bet on stream. It just wasn't for the contest.
Wasn't the right track.
Yeah, I mean, it's been today's been okay, but it's just not been okay at Turfway. So,
Dude, I'll tell you what, man. Switching from barrel-proof bourbon over the Scotch, like that is a fucking change.
Go on.
Dude, it's just like, this is crazy. Like, how how smooth this is compared to like the burn you get with some of these higher proof whiskeys.
Yeah, well, you just went from that barrel proof was 113 proof, you said?
The Elijah Craig is 136 proof.
Jesus Christ, 130. Yeah, you're going from that to what is that Glenlivet 80 proof?
Probably
90?
80. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's on the bottle.
Yeah. So I mean, you're literally getting like half as much alcohol by volume. Jesus, 136 proof.
Yeah, dude, that's fucking serious business.
I'm surprised you can still talk and type.
That's why I gave myself a real small pour, but I gave myself a decent pour of the Unleavened.
136 is that's legit.
Yep, 68% alcohol. Yeah, 80.
Looks like Dennis just gave out the Exacta, Trifecta, and Super in our YouTube chat. I mean, I don't know what you're going to get with a 3 to 5 on top, but nevertheless, I mean, he did a 1/3. It's still pretty good capping. So
Yeah, nice for Dennis. He's
Have you
normally
played it?
legit.
And in this last race, Dennis said he's going 12, 1/2358. You know, I get the love for the one just based off of the, Mike Maker, Clash Drop, whatever else you have going on for it here. But I don't know. The horse, it's not draft. I mean, to me, the difference between Maiden claiming 15 and Maiden claiming 7,500 is not that big. And, the horse just hasn't really fired at all. That's a hard horse for me to like at 6 to 5 or whatever, 9 to 5. I think he floated up some, but that's a hard horse for me to land on at that price.
Yeah, I'm saying 2 to 1 right now, but I would agree with you. I don't think that class drop is massive. It's not like you're coming out of maiden special to maiden claim or something like that. So
Yeah.
They're
Yeah, the 2 is also quite short, 2 to 1. I mean, like a co-favorite, which I'm a little surprised by. Now that 2 was, in the words of Nafi, he was flying late. These kinds of horses that break bad and then flying late to be a non-threatening fourth are often super overbet in their next start. And I get the feeling that might be what we're seeing with this 2. I mean, I'm live to him, but had I known he'd be 2 to 1, or 5 to 2, that's on the shorter side as well. I think the 8's the horse that was probably my top pick, and you're getting 5 to 1 right now. And then the 1 is the long shot, who I think has a chance on the lead.
The starting gate. For the 8th and final maiden filly,
So no 8 here?
claimers to race a mile.
I said the 8 is my top pick. I'm live today in the doubles.
okay.
I do have to give a
price
correction. Give a good correction to some information we gave out earlier. We were talking about our friend Tom earlier today. Actually, NHC qualifier. So I just want to make sure that we corrected that. He did ask in private chat that we did correct that.
He's low insecure.
He's not a little insecure. There's quite a bit there. So
on the class drop and stretch out.
I mean, his dog is a first time gelding, didn't fire, so he couldn't pass his exam to get into doggy daycare. So.
Stretch out.
I just laughed. Elliot in the chat's going with the closers. He's going 2-12.
Kate comes up for.
I think it's 2-12, 1-3-5-8. Yeah.
If you can figure out who the closers even are, don't run at all.
Yeah, this is hard.
I feel like I've just been way off. Like, with the exception of that first race where it ran how I thought it would run, I feel like I've been way off on
Yeah.
the pace scenarios here.
Packed in.
Yeah, I agree.
I'd
This
actually-
has been a rough night.
I'd actually
back in against the Phillies goes in.
I kind of wonder
Baby
what
doll.
time form looked like for tonight.
Dear Theodosa. On the stretch
I'm not a time form guy, so I mean I couldn't tell you, but yeah, it's interesting to
conditioner
compare
and waiting on Mountain Melodies.
because optics is kind of mischaracterized a few of the pace scenarios.
On the clutch drop and a stretch out
But
to the outside.
It's led me down the wrong path a couple times.
They are racing. Horrible beginning for debuting Hoptown Hope. She's last. Quick start for Columbia Clipper. Sunrise Memories displaying speed. There goes to Misina. Princess Mary Kate is next.
Eight going like 20 wide for no reason.
Meanwhile, not the best angle there for Pressy Plain Jane either.
I mean, the one's on the lead like I thought.
Just about 7 lengths off those leaders, so they go by
Pressure,
the 6 furlong
so.
marker. Up on the outside, 8 came up.
It
to
looks
Messina.
like the 12's
Shows
gonna.
away by just
He's
about
getting a
a
perfect.
head.
I mean, if the 8 is much the
Second
best
between horses, Sunrise Memories
hold,
third.
but
Out in the
I
clear,
think
Mountain
12's
Melodies
getting the
is
right
fourth.
trip.
Then comes Princess Mary Kate in fifth. Pressy Plain Jane with an awkward turn run there is sixth and just about
Is
7
this
off the
8
lead.
loose enough, though?
Mission in a good spot.
I mean, this 8 looks like he had order front, given how wide he went and still made the lead.
As they head up the backside, and then still another, I'd say 10 or 12 lengths
One
back
has
to
no
Hoptown
shot.
Hope at the back, the half 47.
Yeah,
and
one's
four.
One just hit the
Misina
wall. He has the
still shows
rail. He
way
couldn't get
3/4
wide and he
of a
couldn't
length back.
separate.
5's done.
I mean, it looks like it's kid on the 8 keeps looking under his
It's
shoulder.
8 or 12. Looks like the 8 is just loaded, though.
Yeah, he seems like he has a whole boatload of
Shows
horse.
away by their quarter pole. Mountain Melodies out in the 2 path while racing second. Princess Mary
Oh,
Kate
12's
third.
getting up alongside of him,
Mission
though.
has kicked it into top gear. She's fourth.
Yeah,
About a
and
minute
he
off of the leader.
floated
She's
way
gonna
wide
lead
off
to
the
outside
corner
of
there.
Mountain
That was a
Melodies as they straight
terrible
away to the
cut.
top of the home stretch, and here comes
No.
Remission.
Oh, here comes his
Here
two.
comes the
Mountain
2.
Melodies, who found the front outside the 16th pole.
2.
It is
Well,
Remission sweeping
okay
up
then.
after the lead.
Yeah, 2.
Remission drawing away from Mountain
Shit,
Melodies.
did the
Late
YouTube
from the back.
Is
try
this
come
try
in?
gonna hit? 2,
I think-
12, he's got 9. Oh, he's got 1, 3, 5, 8 in third.
Well, he had 2, 12, 1, 3, 5, 8. Who got third? I thought it was the 9.
The 9.
We
Oh,
killed
no,
a
no.
solid exacta there, but
Wow.
You had the right idea going for closers. And you had the right 2 on top. That sucks to go 4 deep and miss the 3rd place horse by, well, you didn't have either of those 3, but still, that's a rough beat.
yeah, it is. That's yeah.
I mean, so I hit the double there for. I can't imagine it's going to pay more than like 15 or 20 bucks. Yeah, that was pretty rough. That 2 was actually. I took a lot of money in the horizontals. That double paid $28 for 2, so I'll get 14 back. I mean, it still covers the cost of the double plus a couple bucks, but that still isn't really what I'm looking to get.
And I don't think Chase's bet hit. 10 with the 1, 2.
Yeah, was his 10 coming late? Was his one of the?
Yeah, his 10 was in third,
Yeah, 10 was kind of off my radar, but it was an interesting pick for him.
Yeah, 10 was 4th, so that did not hit for him.
Well, Caleb, what do you got left? How much money you got left?
When this gets graded, I'll have about $80.
Well, you're at $80, and I think the 3 of us are going to be starting fresh again. So this is pretty much going to be just like week 2 or week 1. It's like we're back at the beginning.
Yeah, pretty much.
But hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully, I can get some of that Sam Houston magic to transfer over to Turfway. That exact was. But,
Yeah, Turfway's real tough tonight. I just did not have a handle on it.
I know.
Same.
Like I said, I'd kind of jinxed myself after hitting that first race. I was like, oh, it's gonna be good. Dennis is just as confused by this card. So
I'm glad it's not just us, Dennis. That much is how I'm happy to hear.
I know who wrote the who did the write up for Turfway today on Daily Gallop. Maybe we gotta go take a look.
Maybe Hunter.
Maybe see how she, right?
If it's Hunter, it's a she.
It's a she. See how she did. Maybe I'll just have to play her pick.
Yeah, it was. Now I don't see a pick today for Daily Gallop for Turfway. Hunter did yesterday.
Well, I think we'll wrap it up here. So I'll try and get that write up by end of the weekend. We'll try again next week for probably Thursday or Friday. We'll see what everyone's schedule looks like. Hopefully, shout out to the Wolf of Oaklawn. Hopefully, your back feels a little better next week. Get all four of us back in one place. Short production meeting. I know we've mostly been doing Turfway. You know, Turfway is in the middle of everything. I think they're probably about halfway through the meet. We did Friday again. What would you guys think? We tossed in some Sam Houston too.
I'm all about that. I mean, why play one track when there's multiples running? I mean, why not?
I'm for it.
I mean, I mostly picked Turfway just because it runs at night. But Sam Houston's going to offer a little bit of value, especially for you guys playing your horizontals. I mean, you guys are going to get at least another 5 or 6% back on your wins because of the lower takeout. So we'll just make sure Chase is cool with it. I'm sure he would be because Sam Houston's got all his favorite trainers and jocks. But yeah, we'll have two tracks going, and we can have a little bit better selection, I think, of races to go through.
I'm on board. Yeah, I like that.
So I think they only run at night on Friday, so it might be one of those things where if we have Friday available, we can run both tracks. But yeah, we'll take a look at that then for next week, and then yeah, shout out to our boys over at the Daily Gallop. You can visit them. I think it was at dailygallop.com. They're on Twitter. Shout out to our boy Dennis, who for some reason or another happens to show up every week. You can see I'm at Cherry Drank. Pax over, or Mark is at Two Turns. Caleb's at Caleb WVU. The Wolf of Oaklawn is at of Oaklawn Chase. You can also see him at jpw.inc. I forgot. I think it's like justpickwinners.wix site or something. You gotta get that fixed. I have no idea. You gotta get that fixed. All right, it's $15. $15 a year to get that shorter URL. And then you can see us on onthewronglead.com, our YouTube channel. We'll try and put up some more. We're trying to figure out some content to post, so we'll be posting a little bit more to the site as we get into more interesting races. But I know we do have some more beginner oriented stuff. I think we're down the pipeline. And then also shout out to our boy the Middle Move at the Middle Move. I think it is middlemove.com. He's got a podcast out there. So for all of us and for our boy Chase who's not here, we'll catch you guys later.